Hello YouTube, this is William. Welcome to another video. This is not really an introduction video, but it's more of a heads up of what I'm doing in R&D and kind of get you guys' input on it as far as what the final design is going to look like. But I've got it down to where it's probably about 90% to where I want it. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I got and kind of briefly explain the concept and the intent, and that you guys tell me what you think. Got any suggestions? Be happy to hear them. All right, now this concept is not new. This concept has been around for a long time. This is the Schrade, one of the first ones that I remember seeing when I was a kid. It's been around 50 to 60 years at least. It's just a flat steel bar that's a hone, okay? And it's got a chisel point to where it'll go through breastbone and things like that in animals, and pelvic bones and things like and that kind of thing. Okay, Buck had one, came out with one. Gerber came out with one, and there's probably others that I'm not aware of. What brought me back to this was Gossman. I think that's how you pronounce his name, or Ghostman or Gossman, something like that. Gossman Knives has one, and I showed it in a pocket dump I did a few videos ago. Okay, phenomenal tool, great tool. And so I got to looking at that, and I said, you know, that's fine, that's great, that's beautiful, but is it a WC tool? That's the question. It's not, but we're gonna try to make one. All right. So this is my little pocket pouch now. I kind of upgraded from the first aid bag. And I got this off of Amazon. It's the Berliner pouch. It's fake leather. I thought it was leather, but it's not leather. And I kind of cut it off because it's too long. Cut it off, and Mom sewed this little deal on here for me. So put my little tool in. All right. I talked to Randy about this, showed it to him, so excited about it. And I told him I'd love to have one of his quality. So he's working on one that's an upgrade to this, that is so anyway, it's stitch gear quality. Who wouldn't want that? So anyway, if you want one of these, Randy's working on it, and just contact him, email or call at stitchgear.com, and let him know that you're interested in one. All right, so beautiful thing. Put all your possible things in there and put it in your cargo pocket. All right, but anyway, back to the tool. That's what it's about. This is prototype C, okay? And we've got all kinds of A's and B's here, but moving on to C, all right? And I got a D here that I'm going to talk about, and an E we're going to talk about in a minute. But the basic concept of this is it's a hone. It sharpens your knife, okay? So on the bottom of this, it's rounded. See, one side is rounded, all right? And that's so that you can get on these curves and everything that these WC knives have. You hear it. And also the flat part. You can use it. Oh, man. I'll be down in the quick before you know it on that. But anyway, so it's a hone. Primary use is a hone. And it works wonderful like that. Steels, I mean, I played around with CPM 154. I played around with Nitro V. This is D2. It works great too. So, you know, steels is you know, it's just really not that critical right now, because really the 154 and the Nitro V and the D2, all of them work beautifully. All right. So anyway, and the cost wise, there's really not that much difference in it. Maybe $1 or $2 per unit. All right. So it's not that critical, because hey, they're small. All right. Size wise, it's about 3/4 by 4 1/4. So it's still small enough to fit in your hand, but it's not too big and bulky and weighty and heavy, and you know, just something you're going to leave in the car or in the house or in a bag or something that, and you're not going to be using it. This is light enough. Kydex sleeve. neck carry. Slip it in your pocket. You know, it's one of those things. All right. But it is the WC RST Rescue Survival Tool. Okay? So, anyway, primary use, home. This side, the other side, get the camera right, is a 90-degree spine for scraping. I got a ferrule right here. See there? So you don't have to use up the spine of your knife. Contrary to what some people believe, the more you use it, the duller it's going to get. So that spine will have to be sharpened again at some point. Okay, just something to think about. Save your spine on your knife, use your tool. All right, okay. 90-degree spine. This right here, the lanyard hole, if I can find the camera, is a hex. It's a 1/4-inch hex drive. All right, so slip your little bits in there, and it's a screwdriver, torque wrench, socket driver. What if it's got a 1/4-inch drive? It'll fit right in there. All right, so dual purpose. Again, we're trying to get as much productivity out of this as we can and still remain sane. Because I have seen some of these things on the market. It's just unbelievable. They got so much gadgets on there, none of them work. All right, but anyway, we want to stay where this one actually works. Okay, so moving on down, this is a Coke bottle, and I'm not a bottle opener, and I'm not sold on the bottle opener. Everything has a bottle opener nowadays. Really, the only time you need an opener, and you don't really need a bottle opener, is on some adult beverages, and they're nice to have, but you can just stick something underneath the cap and just lift up. It really doesn't need a bottle opener. But anyway, you guys let me know if you like the bottle opener concept or not. Would you rather bring this up and just have a squared off point and have more of something like this for a chisel, pry bar, splitter, something that's going to split kindling? If you want to drive this in as a wedge and split kindling apart, something like that, rather than having a bottle opener. All right. Now I thought about this and said, you know, in a survival situation, you might want to open a can of beans. So in Model D, I've kind of changed that to more of a sharpened edge for a can opener. And it will open a can in a V-notch all the way around. It doesn't go on the side and open like a SAK does. And SAK is a phenomenal tool. In order to make that work, I got to cut a deeper notch in here to curve and make that hook. And it just takes more steel out. And I would prefer to have the steel here for a pry bar, a splitter, something that I think is more useful in the field as a rescue and survival tool. Okay, that's my thoughts on it. I think I can get away with a bottle opener, but a can opener is it's going to cut away too much material. Okay, so this right here is at an angle. If you kind of see that or not, but it's an angle. So this is proud. This point right here says proud, and it's a glass breaker. So you can take that, hit it sharply against some glass, and it'll shatter the glass. Some would call this a flat screwdriver. I mean, you could. It would have to be a pretty good size screw, but I mean, you could use that as a driver. I think it's more of, you know, you put it in a piece of kindling and drive it down, split it apart, that type of thing, splitting kindling apart for fireboards or whatever. Then that's what I would use this part for more. Okay. Now I did do one with a bow drill rivet. They just get too hot. It's not beneficial in my opinion. The reason you see most of them that are is they're hollow on either side to disperse the heat. And so you don't want to do that in these. I want something that's strong, that you're going to be able to pry against, that's going to be able to open things that don't want to be opened, type thing. And again, you want that pryability and that splitability to where things are split apart. Okay. So then we get to the part that's the most beneficial. I think that the most says it's a WC. is the Sharpened Edge. If you'll see that this point right here drops down to a point. There's that tooth. Look at that tooth. You gotta have that tooth. And this is a curved Scandi grind. Okay. Now this is on a 15-degree angle. I changed it from the 12.5. I tried the 12.5. For the hardness you have to make these things, you have to get a 64, 65. That it's just too brittle for that fine of an edge. But a 15 will work pretty well on this. Okay. So anyway, that cuts seat belts. Let's see if I can do this without having a... And I'm getting some seatbelt material in to test it. But, you know, you can imagine if this was tight, you just grab it and it just zip right through it. And we're going to test that out. But it does work. I've put it in a vise and stretched it out. And it'll zip through it. But I'm just not set up for that right now. This is kind of spur of the moment thing. But anyway, another thing that is phenomenal at is packages. Them box cutters. Yeah. I mean, just effortless. Just effortless. Okay. I mean, it just goes through cardboard like butter. All right. So it's a box cutter. It shaves the edge of your knife. You know, keep that knife for something that you really need a sharp edge for. Use a cutter for it. That point right there, oh man, that's great. But also, it's protected, okay? So if you have to, in an emergency, go in next to somebody and cut that seatbelt away, you're not going to cut them if you hold that point out away from them and then get underneath that seatbelt and just right, then you're free. Break the glass of the window. Something like this around your neck during an accident could save your life, okay? Also, it's small. It's 4 1/4 inches by 3/4 by 3/16 steel. Get them dukes up. Nobody sees it. But you come across somebody with that hook right there, lay them open. It would end a fight pretty quick. All right, so it's an offensive weapon as well. So it's a very versatile cutting edge right there, or tip or point. I like where we're headed with this, or where I'm headed with this. I do want you guys' input. I want your thoughts on it, and just kind of give me your ideas on it. I mean, I thought about notching it out for a wrench, but again, the more steel you take out, the weaker it's going to be. So I want something that's going to be multi-purpose, that's going to be useful, not just some gimmick. All right, so I'm not looking for a gimmick. But anyway, give me your thoughts below. And these will come with a sleeve once I dial in the final design on this. They will come with a sleeve that you can wear around your neck, throw it in your pocket, weight on it. Man, it's probably not even an ounce. But when I do the formal introduction on it, I will give you the weights and everything. But yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. I really do. Price point with the Kydex sleeve and everything, you're less than $100. Probably around $95 or somewhere along in there. But anyway, yeah, and it will be a premium steel. It'll be something that's going to be very useful, and something that yeah, you won't leave home without it. It'll be right next to your American Express card. All right. So until the next one, you guys get in the backyard with a long stick. And if you dealers out there want to pre-order some of these, then and get on the list so that I'll know how much steel and everything to get. Because they will be a pre-order option on the website at some point soon. I just need to get the design dialed in just a hair bit more. I think I'm about 90 to 95% there. But anyway, I just kind of want you guys' thoughts on it first. But yeah, dealers, let me know if you want to put in a order for these so I know how much steel to get and get these in production. Okay, so anyway, until the next one, you guys get in the backyard with a long stick. Be sure to take a child with you and get the opportunity. Don't forget those plenty of bad days and lots of nights. Catch you again very soon.